The 3 new advanced elements for Grand Archive have finally been revealed. All of their secrets have been uncovered. And today we are going to talk about all of them and give you my opinions on each of them, because some of them, after seeing them, I keep saying them, but some of the elements I think have really enticed me to want to play certain champions now more than I thought they would. They very much surprised me. I kind of did like a little flip here. So I'm very excited to talk about them. But before we do that, I do want to just kind of give a general, shout out, words of positivity, general good vibes to Grand Archive and the Weebs of the Shore team, because I think this game has been not only a huge success this year, I think this is one of those games that's really setting itself up to stand the test of time and, garner a community that really cares about it, players that really want to play the game, that are genuinely excited to attend events. And it's something that is, I think, going to be a really interesting case study for the success of Kickstarter trading card games, or maybe it might end up being one of the outliers and one of the only ones that actually makes it, because Grand Archive, they are now 2 sets in, right? We are 2 sets into Grand Archive, and they haven't gone back to Kickstarter. They have proven to be like a sustainable game, and they're really doing it. So the way I'm going to think about this from here on out is that I'm really not going to think about Grand Archive as a Kickstarter game, right? I think they are past that point. They are just a trading card game. They are just a really good anime trading card game that is on the right path to being very successful. So here at the end of 2023, I just want to give some words of encouragement and positivity, because I think they're doing something truly special and not something we've seen before. Yeah. And also, they just had a holiday stream that, hey, I was a part of, and it was so much fun, so much goodwill, and just wholesome vibes. And so, you know what, here, let's go to our overlay here. And if you haven't seen the holiday live stream, I highly recommend going and checking it out. Not just because I was on there, but I was there, and we answered some trivia, won the chat, a bunch of playmats, as well as played some Gartic Phone, which is really fun. But the other really cool thing that they did is they opened up a booster pack of Alchemical Revolution and kind of showed off some of the packaging, and then they really went deep into all of the things that we're going to talk about today. So if you want the developer's insight into all that, hey, go check out that live stream. It's awesome. Highly recommended. Hey, look, it's Alan. All right, so here we are. Alchemical Revolution Design Notes Part 2. Parte 2. We're not going to read this verbatim. In fact, we're just kind of going to go over the cards and talk about them, give you my opinions on them. We have a good number of cards to get through today. I highly recommend, if you would like I said, if you'd like the devs' input on this, go watch the live stream, because they go over this just really well. But this is going to be Kel's opinion on this. So we have Toris, and then his big old obelisks, right? So this is the first of the 3 new advanced elements. This is Neos. So we have Neos, we have Astra, and we have Umbra. And they are tied to the characters Diana, which is a ranger. We have Arisana, who is a cleric. And then, of course, we have Toris here, who's a guardian. And Toris is really kind of, your Timmy champion, right? He likes really big smashy attacks. And so the level 3 Toris has your standard cost, 3 cost. He has 30 life, which is the most life we've seen so far. He has Toris lineage. He's a guardian human with Neos. And it says, at the beginning of your recollection phase, choose one that hasn't been chosen. You can either summon an obelisk of armaments, an obelisk of fabrication, or an obelisk of protection. So Tony really likes those obelisks. And what are they? Well, let's kind of open them up in little tabs here, and we'll talk about them. So the obelisk of protection is a 3-cost obelisk, and that doesn't matter right now because you just summon it with his ability, but it does matter for other effects that care about card cost, and that is relevant. It's a unique token domain, so Tony actually cares about domains. Guardian Obelisk. So for 4, you can do 4 and then use his ability. And it says, prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to target unit this turn. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each domain you control. So at the base level, it counts itself, so it costs 3. -1 for each other domain that you have. And you're going to see that as a theme here. We have the Obelisk of Armaments. Same kind of stats. For 5, you can activate it and summon an Arrow Steel Greatsword token, which I do believe the token is just a 3/1 token, 3 attack, 1 durability token. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each domain you control. And then finally, we have Obelisk of Fabrication, which seems quite good. For 6, and activate it, summon an Automaton drone token with a buff counter on it. So Automaton is a 1/1 with a buff counter, so you just summon a 2/2, basically. And then it costs 1 less to activate for each domain you control. This seems really, really good for Grand Archive. This reminds me of OG Magic, like the Hive, or what is it, like the Serpent Engine or Snake Engine machine thing that just pumps out snakes. It seems really, really good. All of these actually seem quite good, and the fact that if you have a whole bunch of domains, well, they're going to be very, very cheap to activate. And so, yeah, that's what Toris really cares about. He cares about units on the field, and he cares about the domains, right? Here, let's talk about some other domains. So we have the Archon Broadsword and the Summon Sentinels. So I said broadsword weird. So here's the Archon Broadsword. It is a 2 attack, 2 durability Guardian Sword. This is a material deck card, costs 1. It says, as an additional cost to use this weapon for an attack, pay 2. We see this as an ongoing theme for Guardian just in general. They have big attacks, but they're going to cost you a lot more. And this says, class bonus, Archon Greatsword gets +1 for each token you control. Dude. So, these are tokens. So the obelisks that Tony makes are tokens. The obelisks that make tokens. So this kind of just all feeds into itself. This is going to be a big weapon. And then also you have Summon Sentinels, which kind of feeds into that too. So this is a 4-cost Neos slow Guardian skill with class bonus. It costs 1 less to activate for each domain you control, so it could potentially cost 0. And it says, summon 2 Automaton drone tokens, each with a buff counter on them. So you get 2 2/2s. That's pretty good. So for 4, you get 2 2/2s, but it could cost quite a bit less because of Tony's ability of just summoning a obelisk token every single turn. So yeah, this seems pretty good. You keep in mind that these are all Neos cards, so you have to get to level 3, but it really feels like Grand Archive wants to slow things down and make players actually get to level 3 so they can use these really cool advanced elements. Yeah, I dig this strategy. But hey, look, let's show off a couple more cards. I think one of these is hilarious, and one of these is interesting. Let's talk about the interesting one. This is Provoke Obstinance. Obstinance, yeah. This is a 3-cost Neos fast action guardian spell reaction class bonus. Whenever you activate this card, if there's exactly 1 target for its activation, draw a card into your memory. Cool. I dig the slow draw. Up to 5 target objects you control gain Spell Shroud until end of turn. Okay, that's pretty cool. Prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to each of those targets this turn if they're units. This is a really interesting card that basically just kind of protects your board. It can protect it on a couple different axes, right? So it says 5 target objects you control. So this can protect your domains, right? Because it can give your domain Spell Shroud, or it can protect your allies, your units, or even your character's face. Because I do believe your champion counts as a unit, and you know, Toris is an absolute unit for sure. But yeah, I think this is an interesting card. Once again, this is a Neos card, so you have to get to that, you know, be able to use it. But once you do, I think it's fairly interesting. I think what's also interesting is that it just says prevent the next 2 damage that we dealt to each of those targets this turn if they're units. Doesn't care about where the damage comes from. It just says prevent the next 2 damage, so it can prevent a lot of like attack damage, for example, or if your opponent's doing like a big cleave attack or something like that. This could be a good option for that. So yeah, interesting card. Let's show off the hilarious card. This is Smash with Obelisk. Flesh and Blood players might see a resemblance to a certain Brute card here. It's a 3-cost 6-attack card. And here you can see Tony, tiny little Tony dude, just smashing with this Obelisk. As an additional cost to activate this card, sacrifice a domain you control. Well, good thing he pumps out domains. And it says, Smash with Obelisk gets +X, where X is the reserve cost of the sacrifice domain. So We saw the domains here have a reserve cost at the top. So that basically means if you sack one of these obelisks to smash, this is going to attack for 9. So this is a 3 cost, 9 attack card. What? What? This is absolutely dumpster people in limited, and it's probably going to end games in constructed as well. Like, this is an uncommon. This is an uncommon card. It's wild. So yeah, that's Neos. I think Neos really appeals to kind of that very Timmy sensibility. You got these big numbers, you got all these dudes on the field, and all, you know, you got your big obelisks. Yeah, pretty good. I actually think Toris is actually be quite powerful, even outside of Neos. I think his level 1 and level 2 are very good. All right, let's talk about Astra. Okay, this is the biggest surprise to me. I was like I do want to play a cleric. I think it'll be fun to kind of like play around with it, do a little bit of testing, and just be kind of like a fun little deck. But now I'm kind of all in. I kind of love Astra, like a lot. So let's talk about Arisana Astral Zenith. So she is an Astra champion, 25 health, cleric human, Arisana lineage. Once per turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay a card's star calling cost. Okay, cool. Well, what's a star calling cost? Well, let's check it out. Here we have Cosmic Bolt. First of all, the art for Astra is so good. It is just so good. So this is a cleric spell. It's a slow spell, Astra. Star calling. So for 2. So this is what star calling is. So for 2, as you're looking at this card while glimpsing, you may activate it by paying its cost. You can do that immediately, by the way. It gets around timing restrictions. So if you are glimpsing on your opponent's turn, even though this is a slow spell, you can star call it on your opponent's turn. If you do, put all other cards you're looking at the bottom of your deck in any order. Then this card also does 4 damage to target unit, plus additional 2 for each card named Cosmic Bolt in your graveyard, and Banishment. That reminds me of Kindle from Magic. Old school like card from Tempest, I think. But I love this. I really love this. It's like rewards you for glimpsing. I love the flavor of it because she's like a seer, right? And she's glimpsing into possible futures, and she's like, oh hey, I glimpsed this Cosmic Bolt. And so normally this costs 2 to play while you see it in your glimpse, but Arisana says you can pay 0 for that once per turn. Once on your turn, once on your opponent's turn, once on your other opponent's turn if you're playing multiplayer. Yeah, this is incredible. Also, the art, once again, amazing. All right, let's show off some other glimpse stuff. So this is Comet Fall. It's a 5 cost slow cleric spell, star calling 2. Deal 3 damage to all non-Astra element units. Class bonus 4 to those instead. So this is a board wipe on the star call. It's just so good. You can also pay 5 for it, but you can also pay 0 for it because of Arisana. All right, let's tuck these away. Let's check out some other stuff. Here we have the Cosmic Astroscope. So this is Arisana's signature weapon. It's a regalia item, cleric staff, class bonus. If an opponent would glimpse X, you may have that player glimpse 3 instead. So if they're playing against Rai or another Arisana and they're glimpsing like 10, you can be like, nah, you glimpse 3. It says may, so you don't have to. So if they're only glimpsing 1, they don't immediately glimpse 3. It's your choice. And then you can just rest this to glimpse 3. Dude, this is so good. This is so good. You get that glimpse, and so you can activate your star calling. This is a kind of a deck that really wants you to have a bunch of star calling cards and a bunch of Astra cards. All right, let's see all the other things that round out Arisana's kit. So here we have Spell Shield Astra. So we know Spell Shield is going to be kind of like a cycle. We've seen Spell Shield Arcane, Water. We're going to see more. I think there's a Wind one. So this is a 4 cost fast class bonus, cost 2 less to activate, so 2 cost cleric spell reaction. The next time damage be dealt to your champion this turn, prevent that damage, and then you glimpse X, where X is the amount of damage prevented this way. So imagine preventing 11 from an arcane blast, and then glimpsing 11, and then playing all of your bonkers like Astra cards, or your bonkers like star calling cards. Seems pretty good. And then we have Condensed Supernova. Once again, the art is incredible. Condensed Supernova is a potion. So this is a 7-drop potion brew. So you can pay the alternate cost you can pay the 7 to play it, right? Or you can pay the alternate cost for brewing it, which is 1 silver shine, 2 adjuvants, and 2 catalysts. And that's what brewing means. It's like you use those as an alternate cost. So you can play it for those. Then it says, sack it, deal level damage to all non-Astra units, then you glimpse 4. Pretty sweet. So this is kind of like a little board wipe that you can kind of use all of your herbs that you've been gathering with Arisana, and then board wipe and then glimpse 4. So you can do more of your star calling shenanigans. And then here we have some star calling shenanigans. And once again, with gorgeous artwork. This is a 3-drop cleric spell. This is Potion Infusion Starlight. Slow. It does have star calling 1. And it says rest target potion. If you do, it gains on sacrifice until end of turn. Your champion gets +4 level until end of turn. So that combos very well with this, where it gets that on sacrifice. You get that bonus, so you will put that on your condensed supernova, right? And then on sacrifice, you get +4 level, so you will deal minimum 7 to all non-Astra units, and then you glimpse 4. Seems pretty good. That seems pretty good. Yeah, I absolutely love Astra and Arisana. I really thought I was going to be all in on the next one, Diana, which I kind of am as well, but this really sold me on Astra. I'm so stoked. I can't. What do you think of this? It's like it's like countertop, and also like miracles from Magic. It's just, I love this kind of manipulation. One of my favorite decks in Digital Shadowverse is Runecraft, and oh, I love this. This reminds me of that so much. This is great. This is I love everything about this. All right, finally, let's talk about Umbra element and our lovely Diana here. Once again, incredible art by an awesome artist, Faicha, who may be working with on something really, really cool soon. Anyway, so this is Diana Duskstalker. I do want to mention that we have Diana here. We have, I didn't mention this at all. We have Arisana, and then we have Toris. These ones, if you look at their type line down here, it says ALCSD. This is the starter deck card. Once again, here we have Arisana. This is the starter deck card. These are the champs that come in the starter decks. I'm so excited to play with the starter decks. So anyway, here we have Diana Duskstalker with the Umbra element. So she is a ranger human, 25 health. She has Diana lineage. On enter, she becomes distant, so she gets all of the bonuses that you'd get if your champ is distant. And then she says, on champion hit, generate a Creeping Torment card and put it on the bottom of the hit champion's lineage. To generate, add that card from outside of the game. So you just have like some sleeved up in the same sleeves as your deck, and then you just bring them in from outside the game. Kind of like you would with a token, but it's a little different than a token. Because they can get put in different zones and stuff. Anyway, here we have Creeping Torment. So Creeping Torment has a 1 cost, but you just generate it, so you get it for free. But it also says Fantasia, Cleric Curse spell. On enter, put Creeping Torment at the bottom of target champion's lineage. Inherited effect, whenever you draw your second card each turn, deal 2 unpreventable damage to this object. So what you do basically is you just put a bunch of these curses on your opponent, and when they draw their second card, they take a crap load of damage, right? And so you can stack these up and have a bunch of different Creeping Torments on them. And if they draw, they just eat it. I will also like to note for this card effect that if you draw into your memory, it still counts as drawing. So it's a lot of damage. This is a lot of damage. All right, let's take a look at some of the other stuff that Diana has going on. So we have Anathema's End and Umbral Tithe. So this is a bullet, Anathema's End. It says it's a 3-cost bullet. You load it into an unloaded gun you control, and then class bonus on champion hit. Banish all curse cards in the hit champion's lineage. For each card banished this way, deal 2 unpreventable damage to that champion. So it's kind of a way to pop all of your Creeping Torments all at once and just deal a bunch of burst damage. It's all unpreventable, so you just shoot them with the bullet, and then they just explode, right? Very cool. Nice finisher for Arisana, or not for Arisana, for Diana. Arisana's doing other stuff. Not this, though. And then we have Umbral Tithe. This is a 5-drop cleric spell. This has fast. It says this card costs 1 less to activate for each curse card in each champion's lineage. There are ways to give yourself curses. Obviously, there's ways to give your opponent curses. Each player draws 2 cards into their memory. Then, deal 4 damage to each champion controlled by players with 6 or more cards in their memory. So, yeah, like this is like a double-edged sword. Can do a lot of damage, can do a lot of damage to yourself as well. I really like this really interesting design space. I want to note that we have a cleric spell here, and then we also had the Creeping Torment, also a cleric. And they clarified this is that this is just flavor-wise. These don't have class bonuses. Flavor-wise, this is kind of more of like a cleric thing, but obviously Diana can use it because she has the Umbra element. All right, so let's get into some real spicy stuff with Shadow's Twin. This is wild. So Shadow's Twin is Diana's signature weapon. This is a 1 cost 1/5. You can shoot this thing 5 times. Whenever Shadow's Twin becomes loaded, it gets +2 until end of turn. So it's not really 1, it's 3. A class bonus, whenever an attack using this weapon triggers an on-hit ability, that ability is triggered an additional time. What the hell? They really want to close out the game. This is like, if you get this and you can get some nice on-hits, well, you get them twice. And if you're shooting bullets, well, this is going to get in the buff from that too. Very cool. This card is awesome. I love anything that says double me, and this card says double me. And I'm into it. I'm into it. So we also have Mindbreak Bullet. This is one of the cards where getting the double hit is pretty sweet. So there's a bullet. It's a 2 cost. Gets that 3 attack there. Load Mindbreak Bullet into target unloaded gun weapon you control. So you load this into your Shadow's Twin. Shadow's Twin gets +2. And then you have the 1 for attack and then 3. So you're going to be hitting for 6. Seems good. And then on champion hit, look at that opponent's memory and discard a card from it twice because of Shadow's Twin. So you get to do it twice. Seems really good. It seems really good. Once again, these are all advanced element cards, yada yada yada. You have to get to that point. They should be powerful, but they seem powerful. And then finally we have Violet Haze. This is a Ranger Curse spell. All units you control become distant. So this is sweet. This is just all units you control become distant. Then put Violet Haze on the bottom of target champion's lineage. Inherited effect that this object gets -2. So this is sweet. So you give all of your dudes distant, and then this goes in your opponent's lineage, and then they just get -2 health. And so you can kind of stack these up, and then burst them out with something like the Anathema's End. This is sweet. Really cool. I dig this kind of style, and I can foresee you doing like some sort of like burn style deck, doing like a fire Umbra like ranger where you kind of like burn them down and then you finish them off with a combination of like your bullets and these like unpreventable damage type cards. Really cool. And it says that concludes the second half of the design notes. ALC releases January 26th, and I could not be more excited for this. I think this is some of the most excitement I've ever had for like a card game in recent memory. I think they're doing an incredible job with this, and these look so much fun to play. I've mentioned it a couple times, but we're going to be having a starter deck event over on the Rogues Gallery Discord. It's going to be more new player in mind, right? We're not going to have competitive pricing. It's going to be participation pricing. You will have to provide your own starter deck, and they will all have to be Alchemical Revolution starter deck, but anyone who participates will get prizes 100%, and then we'll have extra pricing for like raffles at the end, like playmats and whatever else they want to send us. This is going to be an official event with official prize support by Weaves of the Shore. So we're going to get like a prize pack kit and maybe some other stuff. They gave us deck boxes last time, so we'll see. But all in all, I'm incredibly excited for this. I think maybe this is like the most excited I am for any new set coming out in like the foreseeable future, and just can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. So let me know what you all think in the comments down below. What's your favorite? Is it Chad Tony? Is it the very cute Arisana, or is it the pretty badass Diana? Let me know. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.